back to the Me Podcast with your host, Daniel Bryant. We have a special guest with us, Mikayla Conyers, who is part of the Me HBCU Scholarship Finalist. Mikayla Conyers goes to Howard University, which is a very prestigious HBCU. So without further ado, we're going to get to her final interview. Hey, Mikayla, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad that you were able to be selected as a finalist. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Good. So without further ado, we're just going to hop into some of these questions that we have. So the first question that I have is a question that the essay was about the scholarship, about, adversity, things that you had to overcome. And one of the main requirements within your essay is you had to speak on your adversity and then how you overcame it, which is two important things. So I just want you to give the viewers a little insight about what you went through and how you were able to overcome it.
Yeah. So in the freshman year of my high school career, my mom and I were involved in a head-on collision. That accident was just a traumatic experience for me, being in the passenger seat and seeing my mom like that. I had to gain consciousness of my mom. The accident really hit her side of the car, didn't really hit my side. So she had to get the jaws of life they had to get the jaws of life to open her car door because it was so total on her side. And she had her femur shattered, and she had to get plates inserted to her femur, into her leg. And then me, on the other hand, I only had just a couple of scratches. So nothing, I was really blessed that nothing really too serious happened to me. But my freshman year wasn't as normal as you would say, because I had to do many trips to the hospital, many trips to the chiropractor. Wasn't able to go to games or being in a lot of clubs because I had to be at home with my sister taking care of my mom. So it was just only the three of us. So mom could she can do normal things like eat, but as far as walking and stuff, we would have to help her with that. So really, I put all my focus into school, and people around me really encouraged me to not be so focused on what's going on at home. Just put all my focus. Really, my teachers helped me as well to put my focus in school. So that's really how I just overcame that situation.
Wow, that's truly amazing, especially me actually going through a car accident just 2 years, 2019, or 2 years ago. I remember it just like it was yesterday, me being in the hospital for over 28 days and ICU for 17 days, them having to use the jaws of life on me to get me out of the car. So that really touched me, and it was very important. But when I look at your story and the way you talked about it, I love how you said that you try to shift your focus, right? Sometimes when we're going through things and we feel like this is the worst things can happen to me, but when we shift our focus, and we can shift our focus to something that is important to us and something that can help us, like school, like you said, I think it helps us get through those tough nights where you feel like, the pain is getting overwhelming. So I like how you said, shifting your focus was a main, focal point for you to be able to overcome your adversity.
Yeah, there were many days in school. I don't feel like this was school, but I really just wanted to focus on that. And when I graduated, I was like, wow, I made it. So, yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Anybody that goes through adversity knows when you get to that end point and you accomplish something graduating or something like that, it just feels so good because it's wow, I just see where I came from and what I had to do and what I had to go through, and I made it out of that. And I've accomplished something big like graduating. I know for me, when I went through my car accident and me going through the hospital and stuff like that, a major accomplishment for me was just being able to get back on the football field as a football player, and being told I would never play. And then I was able to play my senior year, get accolades, all conference and all things like that. It really made myself happy because I saw, what motivation can really do to you, when you just, focus, like you said. So that's great. I'm glad that you shared that, and that, that was a a pinpoint focus for your life. Now, I want to get into the second question and another part of what the essay was about, and that's about education. When we were doing this scholarship and creating it, we know one of the things that was very important to us was for the people that applied to share why education was important to them. And that's what I want you to talk to the viewers a little bit about. Why was it important for you to continue your education at Howard?
Well, I'll be an incoming freshman at Howard University, so I'm going to say from education now. It's just because of my career. I want to become a criminal defense attorney. With that, I want to advocate for those individuals, really African Americans, who are incarcerated, who are just falsely accused, and just want to just a better defense for them in the courtroom. So that really encourages me to continue education.
That's great. It's something that can impact not just yourself, but others around you. Especially a big problem with the prison system and incarceration rates and stuff when it comes, especially to the Black community in various counties and states and all that stuff like that. So I think that's very important that you kind of you focused on something that you feel like can help your community and you can make an impact that can change generational change, right? Something that can help families that have had people incarcerated for years for crimes that don't match up to the sentence, or crimes that are not that they never committed. So I think that's important, and I love that you decided to find an avenue that was able to do that. Yeah. So my final question that I want to get into is talking about community. So one of the big things that I'm about is helping my community, however that may be. Helping kids, help physically going to places, and food drives, clothes drives, or paying my time back into the community, cleaning up, all that type of stuff like that. Through my speeches, however I can help the community, I love doing it, and that's another part that was a part of the essay. What were you going to do to help your community? And I know you touched on that a little bit in your last answer, but just continue to give us some more information about how you're going to continue to motivate and empower your community.
I can motivate and empower my community. Just for one, just be a role model for people who have been through things like me, and maybe people who've been through things like worse situations than me. Just be a role model. No matter where you start, it's just about where you finish. And whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Whatever you put your mind to, do. The 90s line, just do it. That's an affirmation. Just do it. You can do it. And also to have an analysis of how to track means when you have two partners and the partner is trying to hand the other partner the baton. In real life, nobody is going to hand you a baton. You have to take that baton and bring it all the way to the finish line yourself. There will be people in the audience who are cheering you on, guiding you, encouraging you, motivating you throughout the process, but you have to take yourself over the finish line. So I think that's another way for you to think about it. And also in my community, like you said, you want to donate and stuff like that. I want to do that too, and also share my story to other people who may need to hear it and be like, oh, she went through this and she's here now. That's what I want to do. Just share my testimony and to just donate and just be a part of it. So I'm
That's great.
Community services about that.
That's amazing. That's an amazing answer, and I like how you said that. You've got a plan of how you want to help and where you can impact. You touched on how you're going to help in the criminal system. You touched how you're going to help. Sharing your testimony, and that's very powerful. People, like I said, when people can hear from you what you've been through and where you're at now, that's all that people sometimes need to hear. They need that motivation to see somebody that was at a low point at one point of their life and now is at a high point now, just because they will continue to keep on pressing, keep on being motivated, and keep on empowering themselves. So I think that's very important. I'm glad that you have said that you're going to take that stance, you're going to take that first step forward to be able to do that for your community. And you don't even realize your words, your story, it can reach people even farther than your close community. That's what I realized, with my story, me sharing, I've touched people that I don't even know. I've touched people in states that I've never know, that I've never met before. And that's what your story, I believe, can do for someone else. So I'm glad that you're willing to share it, and not only just share it, but actually help someone get through their own adversity. Another thing that I wanted to touch on, especially if you talked about that baton, taking that baton and that focus on, hey, what I want out of life, I gotta go grab it. Adversity is gonna come, things that are not gonna go my way sometimes, but I dictate, or I get to decide, how the outcome's gonna be. If I get up every morning and I continue to press on and continue to be motivated, I can be the determining factor. So that's great. I love that analogy.
Thank you.
So, Mikayla, that was a great interview. That's all the questions that I have for you. I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for applying to the Me Scholarship, and congratulations on being a finalist. All right. That's the end of that episode of the Me HBCU Scholarship Showcase. Like I said, congratulations to all the finalists. More interviews will be coming soon, so make sure you watch. Like always, have a Me day. Stay motivated. Stay empowered.